What is this nonsense, you ask? Okay, I got two signs. Okay, there's two of them. You can't overthink this. Okay, some of you overthinkers need to just follow what I say. Your x is by itself. Okay, so that's good. I don't need to actually do really anything. I can put the two numbers on the line, the -4 and the 2. So anytime there's two of those signs, there's going to be two of the numbers on the line. Okay, as long as the x is in the middle, sandwich by itself. Okay, as long as it's by itself, we're good to put the numbers on the graph. Okay, so what I do is I circle over both of them, and the bar's there on both of them. So I fill both of them in. And all you do is connect your circles. That means x can be any number in between -4 and 2. Okay? Having those two signs there means in between the two numbers. Okay? That's what that means. In between. Okay, my next one. Here are my signs. X is smack dab in the middle by itself, so I can put those numbers on the line. So -3 and 4. Okay, you can circle both of them, but they don't. That one doesn't have a bar, so the -3 won't have it shaded. But this one does have a bar, so this one needs to be colored in. Okay, and all that means is x can be any number in between -3 and 4. So like 1. -1. All those are numbers between them. Okay, you can't overthink the signs. And I don't care really what direction they point. Okay, I know that if x is in between the two signs, and these two numbers are what x is in between. Okay, anything on the line is something x could be. Okay, my next one. Okay, so my two numbers. Okay. Are -5 and 3. X is in between them, okay? So I've got -5 and I've got 3. Okay, so there's my sign. It's bar underneath it, so that is positive. That gets filled in. And here there is no bar, so we leave that empty. Just connect them. That's all that means you do. When you have two signs, you just find out what the two numbers x is in between. Okay, here x is in between a -2 and a 3, so on the number line, I have -2 and +3. Okay, circle both of them. They both have the bar underneath, so fill them both in and connect them. So far, pretty easy, right? Pretty much a walk in the park. Okay, now's when this gets a little more dicey. Okay, a little bit. I need to get that sheet. I threw it away. Now it starts to get a little bit more challenging. Okay, so now we're going to follow our steps because I've got 3 numbers. Well, I can't graph all 3 of them. There's only 2 signs, so there's only 2 numbers to graph. Okay, it says that means when I take x, a number x, and I subtract 4 from it, the result has to be in between 2 and 7. So what I need to do is find the number range for just x itself, okay? For example, if x is 100, 100 minus 4 is 96, but 96 is not in between 2 and 7, therefore that makes no sense. What I want to do is find all the numbers that would make sense, okay? Okay, so get rid of, you don't have any parentheses, okay? You can only have one x. All these only have one x, so that step's a moot point, okay? Now, dot and circle your x, so you want to put a 1 with it probably. Circle it. And we still have to pay attention if that number in the circle is negative, okay? If it is, both the signs will switch, but it's not. So we're going to write the 2 signs right here, okay? Okay, you got anything outside the circle, get rid of it. And I do have something outside the circle. I have a -4, okay? So +4. Now here's the thing. when you switch at the plus 4, you got a plus 4 to the 2 and the 7. What you do in the middle here has to be done to the two outsides. Okay, so 2 plus 4 is 6. I have my sign. I've got my 1 dot x. I have another sign. And 7 plus 4 is 11. Okay. All right, now it's time to divide. I'll just divide by 1. Get rid of those. And then I'm going to divide the other things by 1. So 6 divided by 1 is 6. Then I have x in the middle. And then 11 divided by 1 is 11. Okay, so now I'm ready to graph these numbers. Okay, I have a 6 and 11. They're both on the same side as 0 because they're both positive. Negatives over here, positives over here. So circle over both of them. The bar's there with the 6. It is not there with the 11, so that stays empty. Okay, and then just connect them. So x can be anything as long as it's between 6 and 11. Okay. If it's between 6 and 11, then if I subtract that 4, that would be between 2 and 7, guaranteed. Okay, my next problem. Okay. Draw a number line. Get rid of parentheses if you have any. I don't have any. Okay. You can only have one single x. Okay. We do. Dot and circle that x. Okay. Is dot negative? No, that number's not negative. So signs, both of them, will remain the same. Okay. Got anything outside your circle? No, you don't. These are on the other side of this sign. Okay. And so is that. There's no plus or minus outside of there. Okay. So I don't need to do the number 6. Number 7, divide. Well, I'm going to have to divide by 9. That cancels. And when I divide, I go put my stuff over here. Transfer it over there. So negative 27 divided by 9, that's negative 3. See how nice it is just to have it there. And then x. And then positive 27 divided by 9 is 3. Okay. So x is anything between negative 3 and 3. It could not be equal to either one, though, because the bars aren't there. All right, and then just connect them. That's all you do. Okay, my next problem. Get that number line. Get rid of your parentheses if you have any. Okay. Don't have any. You can only have one x, which you do. Dot and circle that x. Okay, it's being multiplied by 6, so 6 times x. Okay. Is that number negative that I just circled? No. Okay. So those signs, both of them, go the same way. Okay. Got anything outside the circle? If you do get rid of it, yeah, you have a minus 10, so you need to plus 10. And then when I do that, I need to add 10 to the 2 and add 10 to the 20. Okay. Okay, so 12. I've got the less than sign. I've got 6 dot x. Got another less than sign, and then 30. Okay, and now it's time to divide. And when I divide, I transfer the answer over here. Okay. Okay, so 12 divided by 6 is 2. Then I got x. And then I've got 5. Okay. Whoops, crappy circle. Okay, they're both positive, so positive 2, positive 5. So we circle. There's no bars underneath them, so we just connect them. Okay, so x is any number as long as it's between 2 and 5. Okay, here's a fun one. Okay. By the way, I know you have a 1 there. I know the 3 is plus negative on your paper. Okay, I know that much. Okay, so I distribute 2 and, oh yeah, sorry, I got ahead of myself. Draw your number line. Get rid of a parentheses. You got a parentheses, okay? So, in your little box that you have here, you're going to take 2 times 1x, and you're going to take 2 times negative 3. So that equals 2x, and that equals negative 6. Okay, so I have 0. I have the sign. Now here's where the parentheses was at, so I just write 2x plus negative 6. Cross out the parentheses and the number that was being multiplied by it. There's nothing else there, so I have my sign, and 8. Okay, now the problem's much more simpler. You can only have one x. We do. Okay, dot and circle that x. Okay, and I can tell by looking in that circle that don't have a negative. It's positive, so the signs, both of them, are the same. Okay, anything outside that circle? Yeah, you have a negative 6. So opposite of negative 6 is positive 6. And then when I do that, I need to add it to 0, and I need to add it to 8. Okay, so 0 plus 6 is 6. Got the sign. Got 2 dot x. I've got the sign. And 8 plus 6 is 14. Okay. All right, now I still need to divide then to find the 2 actual numbers over here. Now the 6 and the 14 get divided by 2. So that's 3x and 7. Okay, so these are the numbers you graph on the line. They're both positive, so I put 3, put 7, line underneath the 3, no line under the 7, just connect them. Okay. Okay, next one. Draw your number line. I did it. Get rid of any parentheses if you have any. We don't have any. You can only have one x. We do. Dot and circle that x. So it has a multiplying number of negative 3. Okay, now since that multiplying number is negative, these signs, both of them, will go the opposite way. So switch that one and switch that one. Doesn't really affect how the numbers are graphed. They'll just be switched. You'll still have the arrows, the line connected. Okay. Okay, anything outside the circle? Okay. Yeah, plus 4. Let's get rid of that. So I minus 4, and I would minus it from 22 and from 13. Okay. So that's 18. Got the sign. Negative 3 dot x. Got the sign, and 9, okay? And now it is time, folks, to divide. Cancel, cancel, cancel. So 18 divided by negative 3 is negative 6. Now the sign has been changed because I was dividing by negative 3. And then I have x. Again, that sign has been changed because over here I'm also dividing by a negative number. And negative 3. Okay, so they're both negatives this time. That's okay. So they're both over here. Okay, so we circle them. They do not have bars underneath, okay, and we just connect the 2 circles. Okay, next one. Run through the steps, draw your number line. Got it. Get rid of any parentheses if you have any. I don't. Can only have one x, so we do. Want you to dot it and circle it. And there's a positive there, so at this point I know that when I graph the numbers, the signs will stay the same. Not that it really matters on these. Okay, to be honest with you, the graph's going to look the same whether you switch the signs or not. Okay, be honest with you. Okay, got anything outside the circle? Yeah, 5, a minus 5. So plus 5, and then we have to add 5 to the negative 7, and we have to add 5 to the negative 3. Okay, so negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2, and then the sign, 2 dot x, then the sign, and negative 3 plus 5 is 2. Okay. All right, now it is time to divide. by 2, by 2, and by 2. Okay, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Okay, sign stayed the same because here I was dividing by, down here on the bottom, by a positive. Okay, so that doesn't change anything. Okay, and that's 1. Okay, all right, so those are my two numbers, so negative 1 and positive 1. They both have the equals under them, so we will graph them. All right, guys, that's what I have to say on that. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you next time.